One of my favorite things is, if you haven't guessed already, is storytelling. I like to use anything and everything in my room to tell the story. But I want to use my voice inflection, I want to use my eyes, I want to use my hands, I want to use everything at my disposal, the things that I've laid out for you here at my disposal to tell the story. But I want to share with you something I learned many, many years ago. There was a lady, and her name was Mrs. C. Mrs. C introduced me to the velvet bag. Little Mrs. C stood about that tall, blue hair, and every year she made a trip across the big water, as she called it, from Honolulu, Hawaii to San Jose, California. So we would teach, and then little Mrs. C, she would do a wrap-up. When she was ready to do her wrap-up for the day, she would take her little bag and she would shake it and she would begin to create interest of the kids, and she might be digging down into her bag and she might be gathering things, and we're wondering what she's going to put in her hand and what she's going to bring out, and she would get all these things and she would have them in her hands, and she was very particular that she would tell us, listen, when I go into my bag, I better not find out that somebody's been in that bag, because it was a secret. On this particular day, little Mrs. C picked up her bag. The lesson had been about creation. She shuffled. She was in her 80s. She pretty much did what she wanted, but she shuffled over to a corner of the room, and as she began to speak about God creating the universe, she reached in the bag, she pulled out a handful of multicolored glitter, and she said, boys and girls, our God, our wonderful God, He just flung the stars into space. But something interesting, she had her back to us, and her little shoulders began to shake. When this woman turned around, her arms were crossed, the tears were just flowing down her cheeks. And she looked at us and she said, boys and girls, I can hardly believe it. The God who put the stars in the sky loves me. And He knows my name. And I think I am going to see His face very soon. You know what? That was Mrs. C's last trip across the big water. She went home to the Creator of the stars the next year in Honolulu. Become a great storyteller, because then you make the eye contact. Your eyes are the window to your soul, and your kids are going to remember those lessons because they looked into your eyes, they saw your soul, and they knew this stuff is true.